When the growth hub was first envisaged by our stakeholders, it started actually without the provision of the CRM system. And it became quite evident to me that we needed a robust evidence base. So we were looking for a bespoke solution that will allow us to keep the data that we gather on the companies that we work with, so that we can make incisive decisions about where our intervention should be best placed in the future. It was very important to me in choosing a supplier that we got credibility in the marketplace, coupled with high levels of performance. We knew that Tysky had worked with some of our stakeholders, some of our local authority partners, and had that credibility and a level of performance that allows me as Managing Director to keep an overview of performance within my own organisation based on the credibility of an existing supplier like Tysky. Tysky for us allowed us the ability to develop a bespoke solution for what my organisation was looking for. So credibility, performance and price. So they had the whole package as far as being able to provide us with the bespoke solution that the Coventry and Warwickshire Growth Hub were looking for. When you're integrating any new product into any organisation, you need to make sure that it's fully integrated into your organisational arena. And we chose Tysky based on their performance, credibility and the bespoke nature of what we were looking for. We're very much customer focused in this organisation, so it allows us to focus on the needs of the customer and put them right at the heart of the organisation. Of course, when you integrate a new solution, there are always going to be teething problems. Having somebody locally that we could turn to make sure that the bespoke nature of what we were looking for was smoothly integrated was a real benefit in choosing the provider for our solution. When we chose to implement this system into the organisation, I was somewhat wary about how smoothly that integration would take place. Having somebody on site from Tysky working alongside my own team made that transition very smooth indeed. During the implementation of a new system, it's always a concern that there will be problems with integration. Having somebody on site was a real comfort to me running the organisation to make sure that those problems were alleviated when they arose. And of course, we are looking for a bespoke solution here at the Coventry and Warwickshire Growth Hub, not a solution that you could just pick off a shelf and that is generic to all organisations. Very unique, very bespoke to our own particular needs. That was a comfort to us. A very good question is often asked about how you get everyone to use a new system. It's by integrating that system, making sure that everybody within the organisation is comfortable with the tool that they're using, because at the end of the day, the CRM is merely a tool that assists them in their working life. So I've made it quite explicit to them that see the CRM as something that aids your everyday working life and makes your life easier because of the information that it can provide for us. Of course, it's only as good as the data that we input into it. And so integrating it by having training sessions facilitated by Tysky has been a really useful mechanism for us to make sure that the system is fully integrated into my team. The one thing that any organisation needs is the comfort of having ongoing support from your service provider. We don't expect and don't get many hiccups, but if we do encounter those hiccups, the fact that you can have immediate support means that the organisation continues to function during times when a system may go down. So having the comfort of online support, a telephone number with direct support and people able to come straight into the office environment and breach any breakdowns should they occur is really comforting to an organisation.
Well, the reason basically for the CRM implementation is the fact that from all of our experiences within the private sector and now coming to the public sector, that a CRM was a necessary tool for obviously customer management and ongoing negotiation and input, so information is readily available for the whole of the team. The beneficial factor as far as I'm concerned with CRM is the access of information on different customers that we deal with. We deal with a whole range of businesses across the region, and it means that any one person can access information on any one business at any time. Although I have day-to-day involvement in the CRM and the implementation therein, My role involves dealing on a day-to-day basis with TISCI as an organisation, and that has worked very, very well. They've always been on hand to help implement any changes or answer any problems or issues that may have arisen at the time. Obviously, as it was a new implementation for a growth hub, the system has needed to be developed on an ongoing basis to mirror the requirements that we have as a growth hub, and TISCI have been heavily involved in the implementation of those changes, and at every stage of the process have been a key factor in the development of the CRM system into what it is today. The implementation of the system has obviously replaced a completely manual system. Generally speaking, the public sector work off manualised systems, and obviously this has given us the capability to adapt and change our relationship with customers on a day-to-day basis. So implementations of CRM systems like this are really valued as far as a growth hub is concerned, because we may deal with up to 1,000 customers, and it's key to have the information at hand. Obviously, as a public sector organisation, we have to go through due diligence and procurement processes, and TISCI came out on top on most of those processes. We have an ongoing relationship, and we will continue to do so because they offer us the relative service and quick response that we require. And we're looking at developing the system on an ongoing basis. And as previously mentioned, TISCI are always there to help us.
By using the CRM software as a growth hub, we can now track how much we're bringing into the local economy. So this could be private sector investment or job creation. So TISCI helped us develop a module on the CRM system where we track all measures of job creation, which we then report into local authorities. I've worked quite closely with TISCI over the past year. We have regular training sessions and briefings. When we make changes to the CRM system, we have full support through the helpline, and we also work with our account manager quite closely, who comes in to provide training for us. The ongoing support from TISCI has been really useful to the organisation, as we have hands-on support through the helpline and through our account manager at TISCI. With our nature of business, we need to regularly make changes to the CRM software, and as we work with a lot of partner organisations, when we're requested to provide different data sets, this requires us to be able to update the CRM accordingly in a timely manner. So with these problems, TISCI are always on hand at all times of the day to really support us with those changes.
The reasons we looked at the CRM and why we needed it to help the growth and develop was, we obviously need to be able to track customer information, but also to be able to track and work with the clients on their journey and understand what we're doing to assist the client through their journey and the impact that we're making as we're going through that journey with the client. We chose TISCI just fundamentally because we just felt that TISCI understood our business better than the other companies we were talking to. Technically, all have very similar capabilities. There's not a lot to choose, very difficult to make a split hairs between them, but TISCI seemed to get what we're trying to achieve as a business better than the others. It sounds really weird to make sure that the partner we're going to work with had the flexibility to adapt and change the system and work with us as our business needs evolved. We're still a very formative organisation. We started working with CRM, and difficult to predict where we were going as a business, but so we needed a partner that was able to go with us along that journey and adapt and change the system and what we're trying to achieve with it along that journey.